Welcome to Echoes of Enlightenment, where we talk about spirituality, life lessons, and overall self-development. In today's episode, we'll be discussing how life lessons will help you achieve peace. In previous episodes, I talk about the reason why we're here on earth is to learn lessons and to grow. And a lot of us want to achieve peace. Will you just feel one within yourself, a satisfied feeling? The key to reaching a level of peace is by mastering yourself. You have to be able to understand who you are, what makes you tick. You got to learn you got to understand how you learn things. You got to understand what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad. And what continues to draw you to the good and bad things that keep repeating in your life. And then you also have to be able to discipline yourself. You got to have self-discipline. And that's just it's gonna take time to develop. And we're all human, so we're gonna slip up sometime. And that's fine. But the key is to get back onto that discipline. That needs to be 90% way you go. Is back to your discipline and then maintain that. And if you slip up, just know you're going to be, your natural way that you gravitate is back to that 90% of you being self-disciplined. Because the only thing in this world you can truly control is yourself. Because through this life, we're going to be thrown tons of different situations at us all throughout life, all throughout our day. And when you throw in these situations, you gotta know yourself well enough to be able to gauge your reactions. And your reactions are formed from your emotions. And then your emotions develop from the thoughts that you think about whatever reaction that was thrown at you. And you have to make that calculation quick. And make quick adjustments just so you know how to respond. But the only way you can make a pretty accurate decision on how to react is by knowing yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to know what the issue is, because we all have our own version of the level of peace that we want to reach. And we actually don't really know it until you get there. You just have a thought of what it would be like. And once you do get there, it's better than what you think. It's way better than what you think it is. The key is to maintain a balanced level of keeping your emotions balanced. Not to get too excited or not to get too mad. Don't go too far one way or the other. You got to stay somewhere. You got to learn how to keep your emotions at a healthy level. If somebody's like, "Oh, you win this." Yeah, I mean, you can get excited. But what happens if they go, "Oh, sorry, we pulled the wrong number. It's not really you." But you went super high up and you're just, now you come crashing down. Now you come crashing down. And now you have to figure out how to see if you don't have that baseline set up by just self-knowledge and learning who you are, then your emotions, they fluctuate. You never really have a level that you sit at. Like like your blood pressure is just at a healthy level. It's always, if it's too low, then it's a problem. If it's too high, then it's a problem. But you have that normal level. That's where your emotions need to be too, just at a level. But the only way you know where that level is by self-mastery. You have to master who you are, and that takes time. But you have to be by yourself for a while, just so you can see. And you gotta pay attention to how you're feeling. And when a situation comes up, you're gonna feel that elevation in your emotion, whether it's good or bad. When you feel that elevation, monitor it, look at it, see if you can bring it back down, or see if you can bring it up. See if you can control it, or try to control it, because you can control it. You just have to be able to pay attention to it. If somebody says something rude to you at the grocery store or something, are you able to manage your emotion quick enough before you react? Those are two separate things. Most people, when they react, it's an emotion flowing straight into a reaction. And when that happens, it's already too late. It's already too late because you've already reacted. And now you're having to deal with the consequence of that reaction. So that means your peace is already out the window, because now you're dealing with the reaction of that experience. And you got to realize there's some people out there that want that reaction. They know exactly what to do. It's just a standard thing that they do because they've done it long enough, and they understand that if they do this to somebody, they're going to get this reaction, and that's the reaction that they want. They don't value peace. They don't value peace, but if you value peace, it's going to take work to understand what people are doing and just watch patterns. Oh, I've been in this situation. I already understand. If you can understand what people's next step is, then it never moves you away from your peaceful zone. And that's the baseline. Your baseline should be where your peace lies. You can't control what other people say or do, but you can control how you react to it. And that starts with how you react to your emotions being flared up. Acknowledge it. Be like, oh. And then after this situation, after this situation is over, think about why that made you mad. Like, why did I get that upset? Do I really look like that? Or did I really do this? And then you'll be like, no, I didn't do it. Neither one of those are right. This person just came up. And you can make a good assessment by you being leveled and already have kind of learned who you are. Now you can make that assessment and be like, nah, that person was just crazy. And then you're back to your baseline. Because if you don't have a baseline, you could ride too high or too low all day. You can be upset by one little experience because there's no baseline in the middle that you like, safe zone that you can go to that you know is just neutral. You gotta first find your neutral state where you feel good, where you're just normal, where there's no happiness, there's no sadness. You're just present. That's what it is. You're the present moment. You're present. You're in the now. You're looking around. There's nothing happening. For the most part, if you notice in life, the majority of the day, just because stuff is going around you in the world, cars driving by, people walking down the street, if you stop and be like, what's actually going on with me? Then be like, well, no, I'm just sitting here, or I'm just standing here, or I'm just sitting in the car. So any of those reasons don't have actually any emotion to it, not unless you listen to one of your favorite songs and then, maybe your emotions are a little elevated with joy because it's one of your favorite songs, but you're not just hanging out the window going crazy, or you're not crying. If it's a sad song, you got to be able to stay close to just the baseline. And then when you realize that most of your day is just, you look around, all right, what's going on? Nothing. There's not much going on. So there's no reason to really, for your emotions to be fluctuating so high. And if they are fluctuating super high or super low, now pay attention to what you're thinking. You're going to realize that you're not thinking about what's going on in the now. Because the now, usually nothing's going on. But if you're ruminating, replaying a situation over and over again, then your emotions are going off a past or a future experience that has nothing to do with what you're doing right now. So chances are you're going to be reacting off of a past or a future. Sometimes people can have future fights with people. Oh, when I get to work, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. And you're doing all this. Now you stop at your coffee place, you want to grab a cup of coffee. Now you're snatching it out their hand because you're ready for this future fight that you're supposed to have when you get to work with somebody who made you mad. So you've been mad all night from the day before. And now you're planning this fight. And now you're treating people a certain way that has nothing to do with anything because your emotions are at a high level, not baseline anymore. They're at a high level based on an experience that hasn't even happened yet in the future that you're planning on. So you're not even living in the present time at this time. So right now, this just proves that your emotions are not stable. So you're not at peace right now, not even close to peace. And then the craziest part, you get to work. The boss bought breakfast tacos for everybody, and everybody's happy now. And now this whole fight that you were planning on having because you couldn't control your emotions, keep them at baseline by staying in the present moment, was a waste. You wasted a whole day of a stressful time. And then treated some people based on an event that hadn't even happened a certain way that could have, impacted their day. And that's just on the negative end. Now, say you're excited about something that's going to happen in the future. You should still stay close to your baseline. It's cool to have some excitement. It's still cool to have the excitement, It's fun to be excited. But you shouldn't have it already planned 100% out if it hasn't even happened yet. Still always stay close to your baseline, because if whatever you think is going to happen good doesn't happen, it doesn't break you so bad. It doesn't crush you because now you're going to go all the way past your baseline into a super sad level now because your expectations were so high. And you got to remember, you can't control anything that's on the outside. I mean, you can attempt, but it's not 100%. But if you can master yourself, you can control how you feel and how you react to things. Get 100% excited once whatever you're hoping to obtain is in your hands. Then get excited because it's there now. But stay neutral for the things that hasn't happened yet. Because, I mean, this world is at the turn of events. You don't know what's going to happen. But to be able to keep your own peace, you have to be able to regulate how you're doing inside. And then that takes just mastering yourself, sitting with yourself, and getting to know who you are and how you tick. But I'm in this right here. Until next time.